as we move towards the Knicks and the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, I think one of the big questions is how is Indiana going to score? Will they be able to effectively score? And how much will Tyrese Haliburton impact that? Let's go. The first thing we saw a lot of in their last regular season game was Mikal Bridges guarding Tyrese Haliburton. And I actually thought that Bridges did a good job of keeping him contained and forcing shots like this that are long twos. And even though he makes this is still, I think, relatively good defense and willing to concede what you want if you're the Knicks. And so one-on-one, I think Bridges will probably be okay guarding Haliburton, or whoever they put on will probably be okay. One of the big questions, though, is I think how they handle this pick and roll right here. So Indiana goes to this a lot, and Tyrese Haliburton is obviously very good with it. So here, as he comes off this pick and roll, Towns is committing more towards Haliburton than I think is ideal. If you're not going to have somebody that's able to help off over here, Towns has to be responsible for essentially stopping Haliburton and also recovering to his roll man right here. And that is a lot to ask, and it leads to a great shot right here. And we see the same concept right here, just with like slightly more bells and whistles. So we're going to see a double screen set, and it's actually going to be a dribble handoff with the second one. But the concept is the exact same. Okay, so as he comes off, Towns, again, like he's committing pretty aggressively right here. And so this, I think, is the huge question. Are the Knicks going to have anyone on this roller right here? And so I think Haliburton actually misses the pass here. I don't think that's super common. You can tell he's shading back a little bit. Haliburton probably has this pass over the top right here to the big. However, Haliburton elects to instead pass it over here to Siakam in the corner. And this is the nice thing about the Pacers is you can spread out Haliburton and Siakam, and so that way, if this player helps over too much, now you have a good threat over here in the corner. Siakam looks to attack, and he actually ends up missing the shot, but I think this is, like, he gets really deep right there, and that's a pretty good look. I'd say it's a very good look, frankly, and so I think the Pacers are probably okay with that on offense as well. But then in this possession, this is just one possession later, we see the exact same thing, and this one I think is actually much better for the Knicks. So here we can see the ball screen set up top, and Haliburton's going to choose to attack it pretty early. And so the issue with attacking it aggressively is this post player is not a shooter, you know? So there's no threat out here on the perimeter. So right now you're essentially attacking Cat, but Cat doesn't have to worry about anyone else. He can just guard you. And Cat uses his body, uses his length to force a very contested shot right there. And I think that's very good defense from the Knicks. And I want Haliburton to go a little slower there to put more pressure on Cat. But then one of the things the Pacers do unbelievably well on offense, and Haliburton's a big part of this, frankly, is attacking in transition. So you can see here, first off, we have 4-on-3. These two Knicks players aren't quite back in time. And so we're going to look to attack the middle, and I actually think probably misses a pass here to the big as he goes to the shot fake right here. Probably has a pass to the big that's slightly better. But that being said, even getting Cat to commit right there, if you miss this shot, you now have a huge rebounding advantage because your post player is on Bridges instead of Cat, and he's able to go get that ball and get a great look on the putback. And then here's where we see Haliburton is so lethal. On this missed shot right here, first off, we can see that Haliburton's ready to leak out a little bit. And like, if you got good rebounders, that's okay. It's a little bit dangerous if they have the better rebounders. But that being said, Indiana finds him early. I like that a lot. So we can see Bridges is back here, so you're not going to have your primary defender on him. That being said, Cat is up here. However, what's Cat's priority going to be? He knows that Haliburton's going to be quicker than him, so he's going to drift back to protect the rim. But Haliburton's such a lethal three-point shooter as well, and that's deadly in transition right there. But then my favorite play is right here, and this is like, I think the delayed transition is maybe what you want to call it, but transition that doesn't happen immediately, it happens as like a flow of the offense. I think that is so crucial. And so the player that actually causes the issue here is Josh Hart, and he's going to get caught up behind the play. And this is like the beautiful, if you have 5 players that are running, you could take advantage of this situation. So Haliburton's coming up here and engaging his defender. We can see that, I love this cut right here, because this is the post player, one of the post players, coming down to this post over here. But most importantly, he's occupying Cat, making Cat worried about this pass, this cut. Then you have shooter. The idea is spread out those defenders, and you just have a second post player that also cuts in the area, and because he's in front of Josh right here, he's just going to cut right into the middle and get a wide open space, and Cat is unable to react in time because he's drawn just too far, just slightly too much momentum to go with this player, and so he gets a great look at the rim, and I love that in transition from Indiana. This is a fairly unexpected series simply because, I mean, frankly, the Knicks and Indiana were both big underdogs going into their last series, but they've both been playing really well. I think Indiana's been playing extremely, extremely well. I am super excited to see how this series goes. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe, and most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.